Do you remember being a child? Remember playing in the sandbox at the park or splashing in puddles after it rained? Remember rolling down that green Mount Everest, staining your new, crisp, clean white shirt? Dripping ice cream down your chin but really didn't care to notice? Do you remember? Do you remember back then when it was so easy to make friends? When you would go to the park and play with the first little girl or boy you found there saying, "Let's be friends! Let's be best friends! Best friends forever!" And bloody fingers, pinky promise, and keep on playing? But when Mom could no longer handle talking to the person next to her on the bench, you knew it was time to go. And you would hug and say your goodbyes, promising to see each other the next day. But tomorrow came and you never went back. You forgot all about your new best friend. But no worries, next time you go to the park, you'll make a new best friend. Do you remember? Do you remember when you would dress up in your sister's tights and wear your underwear on top of them, using an old blanket or shirt as your cape, and you thought you were Superman, big and mighty? Or when you used to wear your big sister's clothes and smear Mom's red lipstick all over your face, and you would go up to her and say, "Look, Ma, I'm a pretty princess." She would look down at you with eyes of disapproval, but have a big warm smile across her face. Then Daddy would pick you up, spin you around, and say, "There's my little girl." You would giggle, feeling proud of yourself. You looked like an adult. Do you remember that? Do you remember when you would go to the supermarket and you started to hear your favorite song over the loudspeaker? The music got to you. You then started to sing and dance like you were the next Hollywood pop star. Everybody around would look at you and smile. Some were even laughing, but you didn't care. That was your song and you were going to enjoy it. Do you remember?
That's good.
And do you remember when you found out that responsibility is actually a real word? Yes, honey, it's true. That's the sad truth. Now you can't go to the park and play in the mud because you have someone important to go after. You can't go up to a person and tell them to be your best friend before they start thinking that you belong in the crazy house. You can't sing and dance in the middle of the supermarket because you're embarrassed now, worrying about what they might think of you. You're no longer free. And even though a small part of you yearns to go back, something else overpowers it, and it hides back in that corner filled with dust, cobwebs, and abandoned dreams. You're afraid. You're afraid of being a child again. But it's still in there. You still got it. Let it come out. Light it up. Let it shine. Or at least try to remember again. Try to remember being a child. Try to remember when you were free.